Today I'm going to take a look at a nice budget-friendly optic. It is the Gowutar HHC-B22. Let's get it. All right, y'all, do me a favor, make sure you hit that subscribe button and also like this video and share. That helps the channel grow. I appreciate that. Gun safety is of utmost priority and importance, so please make sure that all of your guns are stowed away and out of reach of those folks who should not have access to firearms. That's your responsibility. Make sure that's a priority to you. All right, on to today's video. Gowutar was kind enough to send me a red dot to do a review on. They asked me if I would be willing to do a review, and I said yes, as long as you accept that it will be an honest review, and that is what I always do, and that is what I did on this particular red dot. So let me tell you a little bit about this red dot. First of all, it is a budget-friendly red dot, and let me be straight about that. When I say budget-friendly, it doesn't mean that the quality of it is less, doesn't mean that the quality of it is poor. It just means that financially, it's not going to break the bank like some of your other red dots that are comparable in size, comparable in shape and functionality. So this is a great budget option. So we'll come back to that here shortly. Also, when I first got this red dot and I unboxed it, I was kind of, and that's why I kind of just said what I said about the quality of the optic itself. When I first got it, I was kind of like, not sure what to expect. I had no experience with this company. I wasn't sure what the quality of material that they were putting out would be. So when I opened it up and I found this thing in there, I have to be honest with you, I was pleasantly surprised by the fit and finish of this thing. I own a few other red dots that are very similar to this, like the Romeo 5 by Sig Sauer. The fit and finish on this particular red dot is comparable to that. It feels good in the hand. It feels like it is constructed well. It's smooth on the edges. It's not rough. So like I said, the fit and finish on this is nothing short of good. All right, so that I was pleasantly surprised with that. So let me tell you a little bit about the specs on this optic. First of all, the size of it, shows you that it does not take up a whole lot of rail space, which is nice. You could actually throw a magnifier behind it and not have an issue because of the size of it. And then the weight of it also is minimal as well. As you see in the footage, the rain footage that I have from earlier today, you'll notice that I had it running on an AK-47, and that is a Zastava M70 Z-PAP. That was what I chose to run it on. Originally, I was thinking about running it on something a little smaller in terms of caliber. I was going to do a 9mm PCC. I was going to run it on my APC-9 by B&T. So I decided not to use that firearm. And plus, I wanted to put it on something that would have a little bit more kick to it, a little bit more, thump, just to see if it was robust to hold up to the 7.62, which it did easily without, any struggles whatsoever. I've seen some other people do videos and reviews on this optic, and they put them on shotguns, and so they had favorable things to say about the result of that being on a shotgun. So I have no doubt that the sturdiness of this in terms of what we're going to use it for as a civilian, it would pass the test. Now, if you're kicking down doors for a living, or you're jumping out of helicopters and things like that and crawling through mud, I don't know that this would be your first option. But if you're a civilian like me and you're going to use it for self-defense at maximum, if not just a range toy, I think this might be a good option. So let me talk a little bit about the specs on this optic. So first, right on the side of the box, it gives you some information about it, and I'm just going to kind of take that information straight from here. One is it has a shake and wake design, which at this point, if I buy an optic or red dot and it doesn't have shake and wake, that's a no-go automatically. So it does have that shake and wake. After 2 minutes, it will go off. 2 minutes of being stable and not moving, it will shut off. It also has the function that if you hit the minus button, which I'll get to here in a minute, and you hold it in for a couple of seconds, it will automatically turn it off, and you'll have to physically turn it back on. So having that option makes it very easy to use. It makes the battery life last longer. All right, so that's pretty cool. And then the buttons that I were talking about here are the brightness settings on it. There's a plus and a minus. It's easy push in, easy tap on those buttons to increase the brightness or decrease the brightness. Very easy to do. There are 10 brightness settings on this. As you see from the range footage today, I was shooting this in the dead of sun. The middle of the day was the brightest point in the day, and I had no problems whatsoever seeing the red dot through this glass. No star bursting, anything like that. The glass is clear, the glass is clean. So I have to say that acquiring the target on this is pretty easy. All right. Also, your windage and elevation on these are pretty easy and standard to use. They don't have caps on them, which is kind of nice because it kind of decreases the profile on them. It does come with a tool. You could just simply use this or use a flathead screwdriver and adjust the clicks on it, the windage and elevation. Very easy to use. It probably took me about, out of the box, it probably took me about maybe 10 clicks, probably separated into 3 different times to actually get this thing sighted in properly. So it was quick, it was easy, no problem with that at all. So those are there as well. Even though they don't have the caps on there, it's still considered to be and rated to be waterproof, shockproof, all that good stuff. So easy to use, very functional. The clicks are very audible, very easy to maintain and to hear as you move from one click to the next. Speaking of clicks, this is a 1 MOA per click, windage. So not a bad setup with, as far as that goes. So, and it also comes with 2 Picatinny rails, right? The Picatinny rails that it has, or risers, I guess is a better word. It has the low riser and then it has the higher riser. I did not use the low riser just because I typically like to have the high riser, easier to acquire without squinching my head down or bringing my head down as far. Also, it's hollowed out in the middle so that you can see through it, which is pretty cool as well. Depending on the gun that you have, you could probably see your sights through this if your optic would fail. So another good thing is that the battery is accessible right here, this big cap. All you do is unscrew it, sit the battery, take it out, sit the new battery on top, screw it back on, and you're good to go. And the battery that it uses is 1CR123, I think it is. So those are easy to find, easy to acquire, not a big deal whatsoever. All right. So like I said, man, if you see the video, I did a couple of things with it and I was able to, this is just today. Like I said, I've been using this for quite some time now before actually filming today's video, the footage as well as this part of the video. And just to kind of get a feel for it, I didn't want to do just like a quick one and done to the range and then give you guys, my input or my opinion on it after such a short period of time. So every time I took the Zasava out there, man, this is what I was running on it. It's a cool optic. Like I said, I did a couple drills. I used the timer just to see if I was able to acquire that sight quicker, and it was easy to do. So not a bad product. This is actually a pretty good product. I have a Century Arms AK, more traditional style AK with the wood furniture. I'm going to put this on and run it on that gun. I think it's definitely good enough for me to put in my rotation with one of my rifles that I actually want something on there that I think will perform, and that's what this will do. So that's all I got for you today on today's video. Like I said, this is the Gowutar HHC-B22 red dot. Check it out. They sell them on Amazon and they cost less than half the price of some of your similar red dot optics that look like this and feel like this. But there will be a code down in the description. If you use that code and tell them GreatMan47 sent you, you'll get an additional 10%. So make sure you use that code down there in the description. All right, y'all? So again, if you get a chance, please subscribe, hit that like button and share. I appreciate that. If you have any comments on the Gowutar, maybe experience on the Gowutar, or questions about my experience with it, drop those down there in that comment section. I'll be sure to get back to you on that. And listen, folks, like I always say, if you ain't packing, you're slacking. I'll see you when I see you. Peace.